Hello guys, so you're welcome to Iconic Designs. If you are new here, a special welcome to you. Kindly subscribe, and then under the video description you are going to see our Telegram page. Please click on it and then join. That is where we share all materials and resources we use in every design we have. And then to our old subscribers, a very big thank you for your support. Okay, so in today's tutorial, I'm going to take you through the step-by-step process, how I came up with this simple church flyer design, Oil My Name 2025, 30th August, and then 8 a.m. prompt, Achimota Forest, and then all that. Okay, so let us start. So the first thing that we are going to do is to create our background. Okay, so I created the first image layer, no, rectangle layer, sorry, that's a shape layer. So the color is going to be, you can see clearly over here I have my color combos here, so I'll just sample it out. And then the color code is AB3313. okay, AB3313. okay, so now let's click on OK. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to duplicate our rectangle layer, Ctrl+J to duplicate the layer, and then let us change the color to our second color code, which is this one. So let me show you the color code so that we can see. The color code is FFF098. okay, FFF098. So what we are going to do next is to rasterize our rectangle layer. So you right click on it and then you click on rasterize. Okay, so now you are going to erase some portion of the rectangle, the duplicated rectangle. So we are going to clear up some portion because I want to have that blend of gradient in it. Okay, so we are going to use our eraser tool, and then we make sure that our hardness is on 0%, opacity is 100, and then flow is 100. Okay, so let me increase the size, and then let us have something like this. Okay, so good, this is what we are going to have. So clearly we have created a simple gradient. Okay, so now what we are going to do next is to bring in our image. Okay, we are going to bring in our image. So I have this image over here. Just as I said, just click on the Telegram link and then join. I'll be sharing with you all these. Okay, so I have this image. Let me expand it. Sorry, let me enlarge it small. I'm going to change the blend mode to hard light. Okay, so that's hard light right here. Good. So I'm really not focusing on the entire image, but I just want that golden gradient that is over there, like that golden color something. Okay, so I'm going to have it like this. Good. So now I'm going to bring in an additional image. That is going to be this particular image. Okay, so from the start I was thinking of Oil My Name, so it should have an image of someone who is seeking the face of God for something like an impartation or something. Okay, so with this one I'm going to change the blend mode to linear light. Okay, so now let us click inside our blend mode option, and then let's go to linear light. Good. So now let me enlarge this one. Okay, let me bring it up to a position like this. Okay, like this, and then let me add a little bit of blur to it. So you rasterize, and then you come to filter, you come to blur, and then Gaussian blur. Okay, so let me just make it to 9.0 is fine, just like this. Good. So what I'm going to do now is, after I created this background, I realized a new idea was coming. So what I did was I merged all these layers. Okay, I merged them like this, and then what I was looking at was the name. Okay, because one thing that I realized was after the design, I have to make sure that I'm working with these colors. Okay, that is these colors, 1, 2, 3. So that's one thing that I really do a lot of times. Before every design, I go by the colors that I want to use. So looking at this background that I had created, it wasn't really going to suit my colors. In as much as I started with the gradient, I realized that putting in the text was going to be difficult among others. So I thought it wise to, why not create the background in the first color mode, and then I'll put my text on it in this color mode or this one. Okay, so what I did was just rasterizing it. Okay, we just rasterize it because we merged the layers. And then I selected my eraser tool, and then I cleared some portion. Okay, I cleared some portion out of it like this. Okay, so you see I can clearly see only the top corner gradient effect like this. And then now I brought in this particular image as well. Just as I said, I'll be sharing with you the link in the video description. That's the Telegram link. Okay, so this one also, I needed only that golden effect over here. So let me rasterize it because I'll be clearing up some portions. And then let me turn it this way. Okay, like this. All right, let me just drop it small. Good. Like this. Okay, so now let me add some blurriness to it. So filter, blur, and then Gaussian blur. Okay, so 9 is too much for me. Let me just reduce it to somewhere 8, no, 7.6 looks good. Okay, so let me okay, it's already rasterized. So let us select our eraser tool. Okay, and then let's take away some portion. Okay, like this, and then the top corner, because we won't really need it. We want it to look a little real. Okay, so something like this. Okay, so we can see it's coming with time. Okay, so one last thing is I brought in an image that is of this particular lady. Also here I brought her just to make the background feel a little more spiritual. Okay, so I changed her blend mode to soft light like this, and then I brought her to the corner. Okay, like this. So now let me rasterize the layer and then clear off some portion. Select the eraser tool, and then let us just take off some portion like this. Good. So we can see how our work is coming out with time. So this particular background that we created, that is the first one that we did. Let us increase it small because the red is showing too much. So we are going to have something like this. Okay, it looks good. Yeah, good. And now with the second image, that is with the golden image that we created, we should just bring it to a place like this. Okay, let's try curving it like this. Good. Great. So lastly, I added the text, okay, a text that is oil my name text, just to avoid the background being boring. The fonts I used is Exiforma, and then I changed it to heavy. Okay, So I just wrote oil my name like this. Okay, remember we are working with these colors. Okay, so you'll be seeing it often. Okay, so now let me close it up a bit like this. Okay, now let me just rotate it. Let me change it to minus 90, minus 90, like this. Okay, I just wanted to have that blend of the program title in it, so at least the background does not look or feel boring. Okay, now let me change the blend mode to overlay. Okay, like this, so you can clearly see the effect happening over here in the background. You are really not seeing it much. It's like it's coming in and then it's going out. Okay, so let us duplicate by clicking on Ctrl+J, and then let us bring it to the other side. Okay, let us bring it to the other side like this. Good. And that is it with our background. Okay, so you can see sometimes you just have to work out some ideas. You just have to have what you want and then how you want to go by it. I selected these colors because I wanted it to look more oily. You see, because of the program title, that is oil my name, I wanted it to look more oily. That's why I worked with this particular background and colors. Okay, so now let's just select all these, click on Ctrl+G to group them, and then let's just name them to background. Okay, like this. Good. Now let us lock our background layer because to avoid movement and distractions, let us just lock it up. And now let's start getting into it. Good. So what we are going to do now is Jesus World Ministries presents. Okay, so let us use our text. I love using Exifoma a lot, so that's what I use for this particular one, just that I changed it to semi-bold. Okay, and then the spacing with the Jesus World, the spacing was 0, so JESUS, Jesus World, and then under it is their ministries, TRIES, like this. So all I did was to, let me zoom in so we can see it better. That's Jesus World, so let me increase this one to maybe bold, and let me maintain this one at semi-bold. So let me just increase the spacing like this, so at least we'll get all on the same. Okay, and there we have it, Jesus World. Let me drop it down a bit. Okay, and now we have it, Jesus World Ministries. Our work is coming out nice. Okay, so we have presents. So with the present, I just created an ellipse. Let us create the text first. Okay, so remember the spacing there, and then let us present like this. Okay, so let us just increase, and now let us create an ellipse around it. Good. So let me change the color to this green light color, and now let us bring the present layer on top of the ellipse layer. Let's change the color. Okay, and then let us just tilt the present, and there we have it. Okay, so I'm actually working with these margins to guide me so I don't end up. Okay, good. So let us decrease the size of the present, and there we have it. Okay, try centering it like this. Now this is where the magic is. The oil my name. Okay, so a lot of times I'll just have a special video as to how I come up with all these ideas. Sometimes you have to consider the image you are using. Sometimes the image you are using, sometimes coming up with a program name is also a challenge to some people, the fonts to use and all that. So I'll especially make a video on all these things, so please subscribe. In our videos to come, we are going to be talking about all these things, how to come up with the program name and all that. Okay, so let us just enter into it. Oil my name. So the font I used for this particular oil my name, it is called Agati Text. Okay, Agati Text. And then I changed the font sizes to extra wide. Okay, so do you know what, I'll be sharing with you the font in our Telegram page, so you just have to follow or join so you can have it. I'll send the setup inside. Let us just sample out the color for the sake of time. So I had this oil mine. Okay, so let me duplicate by clicking on Ctrl+J. You can just use the Alt option too. So oil my name. Okay, and there we have it. Oil my name. Okay, so this is where the creativity comes in. All right, let me just increase the size. Let me increase the size. Okay. I'm running a lot of programs, so my machine is tired. Let me say it that way. Okay, so what I did also was changing you can see that round bend effect in the oil and then the name. Okay, you can choose to maintain it like this and then apply the effect on it, but sometimes you just have to be creative. Okay, so you double click, that is, you select the text, you come to this create warp text or something, then you just change it to, I used the arc lower for the first one, and then I just decreased the value of the blend. Okay, so I bend it like this, not too much, just like this. After that, I just click on OK. You see, all these are effects that you can apply to it. That is, you can blend it horizontally, you can blend it vertically. Okay, but that is not what I'm doing now, so I'll just keep the figures at 0, just at 0. Okay, and then I just blend this one small, like minus 10 is fine. Okay, not too much, so minus 10 is fine, like this. And now let us select our name layer, double click, and then we still come to our warp text, and then we'll change it. See, this time around, because the bend is on the top, so I just use the arc upper like this. Just that I just decreased the value small. Okay, 10 is fine, and now we have it like this. Okay, so let me increase the spacing so we can have something like this. Good. And now there we have it. Let me zoom in so that we can follow along. Good. So now I realized we can see clearly there is an M, 2 M's over here. So what I just did was increasing or deleting one of these, that is the name M, and then dragging this one downwards so that the M will just suit or fill in for the two. You understand? So that's all. I just did it. So what we are going to do is we are going to select the oil my name, all the two layers. You right click and then you come to convert to shape. Okay, so when you convert these layers to shape, it gives you the ability to work around it in all dimensions. Okay, they now become a shape layer but not a text layer, so you can just adjust it any way that you want. All right, so let me select it, and then we are going to use the direct selection tool. Okay, because that is what we are going to use for the adjustment and stuff. You see, when you right click, we have it in two. We have the path selection and then the direct selection. Okay, so once you click on it, you realize on top over here that the stroke is black, so I'll just change it to null because I don't need a stroke. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I have to delete the M. So let me select the name layer, and then let me change the stroke to null. Now let me select the M. Sorry. Okay, so now let me just select the M and then hit on delete. It's going to delete. Okay, so now let me select the oil mine. Remember, I will not need the O, so let me delete the O. And then what I'm going to do is I have to drag the M. So I'll just select the lower part of the M and then I'll just drag it using the arrow keys. Okay, you just drag it like this. Okay, so I think the Y, I just did a little thing over here. Okay, and then there we have it. Oh my! So I have this downloaded from FreePick. Okay, what I'm going to do is to select it. I'm going to use the oil option over here that I have. We just select. This is Illustrator. Okay, and Illustrator and Photoshop, they work hand in hand. So I'll just hold and then I'll drag it over here. I want to believe that is the right one that I've selected. Okay. So let's just adjust it beautifully. Okay. Sometimes with design, it all depends on how you make your work stand out and how you come up with an ideas like these. So I just realized an oil, and you can see this one clearly looks like, oh, once anyone sees, the person is going to know you're talking about oil. Okay, so let's just adjust it like this. Then let me bring the oil, the I, and then let me drag the I and then the L a little bit. Let me just move them forward. Let me just move them forward like this so that they all can be in line. Okay, so now let me drag this here. Great. Let's zoom out and see what we have. Okay, our work is coming out good. So we have oil my name. Great. Now what we are going to do is to add the 2025, that is the text 2025. Oil my name 2025. And as I said, I like really working with Exiforma. Okay, so you can download it from Google. Just search for Exiforma font download for free. So it's going to go. So 2025. Okay, and there we have it. Let me zoom in. Okay, like this. I can see. Let me just use this ruler to. Oh, okay. We have to bring this forward. Okay. We have to take it to the top a bit like this, so that at least we can have our work well arranged. Okay, and there we have it. So I'm going to open up the text. I'm going to space in the 2025 out like this. Okay, and the spacing value is 340. Okay, So now let us select a rectangle tool because we are coming to draw a rectangle. A simple rectangle, not really big. Okay. Let me take this rule up. It is distracting my selection. Okay. You draw it very small. Not very big, but very small. And then let us zoom out and see what we have. So I just duplicated the rectangle layer twice. So Ctrl plus J to have it like this. Okay. I just didn't want to leave the sides blank. That's why I used the rectangle to fill up some space. Okay. Like this. So now let me change the color to our default color. Now let me merge the shapes, rasterize it, and then I'm going to use my rectangle mark tool to make that selection, and then click on delete. Oh, sorry, it didn't select. Let us reselect it like this. Okay, and then let us just click on delete. Ctrl plus D to deselect, and there we have that. Ctrl plus D to deselect. Okay, so let us select our layers. That is the oil my name layer. Click on Ctrl plus G to group them, and then let us change it to oil my name like this. And now we can just select the ellipse, the present, and then the ministry's name. Ctrl plus G, and then we can just make it a ministry's name. Okay, so one very thing that I love to do is always putting my selections into groups or grouping them, because in the future if I want to edit it, I'll just go straight into it. Okay, so this is one important part that I would want to talk about, because the image over here is edited. Okay, you can see the difference. This is the main image, and then this is the edited image. Okay, so let me, the image is not straight, so just let me adjust it a bit like this to make it a little bit straight, and then let me open it up, and then I'm going to have it positioned here. Okay, so now let me duplicate by clicking on Ctrl plus J, and now let us come to selecting our first duplicated layer. We come to filter, and then camera raw filter. Okay, so the skin is really not natural. The skin doesn't look natural to me, and then there's a little bit of darkness in the image, you can see. So I'm just going to go straight into the color mix, the color mixer. Okay, and then I'm going to bring up some coloring and then work around these values. Okay, because I want the image to look a little bit natural. So okay, he's fair, so I have to just adjust the values. Let me increase the saturation a little bit. Okay, I think I have what I want. It looks a little bit natural. So now let's just clear some of the shadows. You just come to the light, and then you increase the value of the shadow like this. Let me increase the value of the white a little bit like this, and then the blacks, we will have something like this. So now let us go into the effects, and then let us increase some texture and then clarity. Do not overdo it, just adjust it. Okay, so with this one you can just use any image that you want to use. Okay, but if you want to use the same image, just let me know. I'll add it to the the resources. Okay, you see the eye looks a little bit blue. It's because of the texture. Let us decrease the value small. Now let us come into the detail, then increase the value of the detail. Okay, so we are going to have something like this. Let us click on OK. All right, so there that we have it. We can see the before and then the after. The before and then the after, the before and then the after. Okay, so let me see if it's okay for me. There are still some shadows in there, but I'll just leave it like this. But if I still want to work on it, I'll still come to the filter, camera raw filter. Okay, so I'll just dedicate one video and then talk about these things, how to make the image pop up. We can see people use it a lot in church flyer designs, so I just don't want to overdo it. Let me just increase the blacks a bit and then the highlight. Okay, now let me click on OK. I think it's giving me a little bit of light now. Great. So now we have the 30th August text and then the Achimota forest and all that. So let me create these ones. As we always do, there are some things that are just basic, so we won't really discuss it more, just to save time. So you just create your rectangle, you bend it small like this. Now let us right click, go to blending options and then click on gradient overlay. Okay, gradient overlay. I'm going to reset it. Reset these values over here. You can clearly see this is what I used, so let me just delete one. I only need two color gradients, okay, or two color gradients. So like this, I'll just sample them out like this. Okay, so let me show you the color codes. The first one is A14501, A14501, and then OK. And then the second one is EA8702, EA8702, and then OK. And then you just click on OK. All right. So that's the same. I used the same gradient for, you can see over here behind the minister, there is this gradient over here. That's what I used. So let me just click on Ctrl+J. Let me do that, and then let me bring it before or behind the speaker. Okay, let me move the layer beneath it like this, and then let me just rotate it. Okay, so I'll have something like this. Let me just change the value. And now let us increase it like this. Okay, so you can see. So it is, I just wanted to fill up some space behind him. I really didn't want the background to look more boring, so that's how I did that. Let us uncheck the down layer. Okay, so this is what we have. And then the other ones are just minor things. They are just adding text. 30th August. Still using Exe4. 30th August. AUGUST. Like this. Let us change the mode to extra bold. Let us increase it like this. Okay. Okay. 30th August. We have it like this. Let me zoom in. Okay. 30th August. We have 2025. We can equally duplicate this 2025, this one, but let us create it again. Okay. Sorry. 2025. And then we have it. us just decrease it and then increase the spacing. Like this. Let me zoom out. Okay, now let us add the time. So for the time, I created a shape just to create a space for the time. Okay, like this. And then I used the same gradient. So you come to blending option, gradient overlay. Okay, I used the same gradient. You can see it. Okay, let's click on OK. It's really not popping up. Let me just decrease it and increase it. No, it's too much. Okay, like this. Let us deepen all. Yeah, let us deepen the first color so it can show. Let me just make a selection out of it here, and then click on OK. And then there we have it. Now let us add our 8 a.m. 8 a.m. prompt prompt. Okay. Just move it. Just too opened. Let's change it to 0 and then bold. Okay, let us try increasing the value. Okay, great. So now what we are going to do is to add the other details. Okay, so with these particular details, I'm going to copy them and then paste them. It's just using our font, writing the text, and then this shape is really a vector shape that I created. Okay, so let me unlock my artboard one so I can have access to these details. So you can see over here details. Okay, so let me just click on Ctrl+J to duplicate them, and then let me move them to my second artboard. Okay, holding Shift, we can just have it like this. Let me bring them down like this. Okay, so these are just normal text. That's why I really don't want to stress on it to take a lot of time. These are just normal text, so we can have them. And then with this particular one, it's a shape. Okay, it's an arrow shape, so I downloaded it from FreePic. When you just go to FreePic and then you click on, or you search for arrow shapes, you're going to have it, and then we can use it beautifully like that. And now we are going to have his name, Elijah Gabriel. Okay, so there is this light option over here. I'll talk about it finally. So let me just add the name. Ctrl+C to copy. Let us come and then paste it. Okay, and now we have it over here. Great. So you can see there is this same oil here. You can see over here behind the image there is the oil. So it's the same oil I used, the oil that I used for this one. That is what I used, but I turned it and then I brought it down here. You can see how it is. So let me just bring it behind the image so you can see the effect. As I said, graphic design it's all about being creative, all right, and then knowing how you work around these things. So you see it's right here. So it is not anything extra. It is just the oil I duplicated and I pasted it over here. Okay, so there is this light effect inside. You can see that there was a light on the image, and then there is a light also at the corner. So let me just duplicate it. I think I've shared the light effect in our Telegram page. If not, I'll share it again. so we can have access to it. So let me just bring it inside the artboard too, so we can just use it. All right, and there we go. Ctrl+J to duplicate. I'll take it to the corner. Okay, and then there we have it. Let me reduce the opacity of this one because it is doing too much to the image. Okay, let me just reduce the opacity, and then there we have it. Finally, I added my what is the name, my noise. Okay, I also shared that one in my previous tutorial, so let me just copy and then paste it on the artboard. I just place it on top of all the artboard. Ctrl+V. We can see it here. You can see that those tiny lines in there. Okay, so let me increase the value and see. You can see how it is, but I just reduce the opacity to something like this, and then we have it. So clearly you can see this is how I came by this simple church flyer design. So that is a step-by-step way. You can play around with it, you can use it in your content, you can just pick inspirations from it, and then that is it. Thank you so much for watching up to this, and I really didn't want the video to be long, but we've come this far. Thank you so much for joining. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe, and then let us grow together. If there is something you want me to talk about, just let me know. Iconic Designs here. See you. Bye bye.